You are listening to the Spine Whisperers podcast. Please know that our doctors are here to only educate, not diagnose on this podcast. If you have any questions, please feel free to find us at www.mfwellness.org.
Oh, we're back. Happy holidays.
Back, streets back, all right.
Nice, bro. Happy holidays, everybody. We've been gone a little bit. Every 4 weeks, we break a volume record, and we tell ourselves, "Hey, we're full." Like, hey, this is getting crazy. And
No mas.
The problem with a referral practice is like it's someone's mom. Somebody's mom needs help. What are we going to do? Say no? So we're usually
Day before Thanksgiving.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Can't say no.
No, and it's like right. All the people we've been taking care of for 20 years. They're back from school. They're back in town. They want to get adjusted. Like, what are we? We're not going to say no. And so we have been seeing patients over lunch, and it's been biting into the podcast time. So sorry, but today we have a really special one. As you know, I like to keep my eyes to the research world, my former home. And we got a really great research study that was done, and it was just published last month. This month.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the Annals of Vertebral Subluxation Research. So a couple of quick things. One, there is a lot of research journals devoted to chiropractic. People are like, there's no research. There's tons. People are just weird. So that's the first thing. Secondly, this research project was just published. It was just carried out this summer. And so a little background is from the authors. So the potential for chiropractic adjustments in livestock has been explored for its potential benefits on the overall growth, health, growth rate, and meat quality. Previous studies have indicated that chiropractic adjustments could enhance palatability and overall well-being of livestock. However, its effects on commercial poultry production and sustainable agriculture remain unclear. If you're still with us, if you aren't dying laughing at this point, I got to tell you, yeah, it's wild. It's wild. So their premise is like, hey, animals have been getting adjusted a long time, and we noticed some changes in the animals that get their spines checked, And so for their materials and methods for their study, they took 50 broiler chickens. They acquired them as hatchlings, and they were assigned to two groups, a control group and an adjusted group. Then the adjusted group received chiropractic adjustments, and the control group got none. Everything else was set the same. Identical conditions: housing, feed, and care. And it was done at the residence of experienced poultry farmers. So they went to a chicken farmer's farm, and they got these people out there. The chiropractic group, they were getting their spines checked on the regular for any restrictions into their little chickeny vertebra, right? At 65 days of age, the chickens were harvested, and the weight was recorded. The meat from both groups underwent a blind taste test involving 32 participants. And where are you going to get 32 participants for a blind taste test of chicken? The county fair. So the results, right? Here we go. The initial weights of both groups were identical. Within the first 8 days, the control group had a 12% mortality rate, right? So that's significant. The adjusting group had a 0% mortality rate. So no chicken in the adjusted group died, but 12% of the control group did.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
At harvest, the adjusting group had a live weight of 56.8 kilograms total for all of them added up, and the dressing percentage of 66%. So dressing percentage after you field dress them, that's just the carcasses, okay? In comparison, the control group had a live weight of 50.68 kilograms. So there's a 6 kilogram difference across, 50-something chickens, total live weight, and a 64% dressing percentage, right? So a little bit more meat in the other chickens. But you can kind of explain it because 12% of the other chickens died. So they don't indicate here whether they corrected for that discrepancy, In the taste test, 75% of the people preferred the adjusting group's chicken, citing reasons such as juiciness, tenderness, and better flavor. Only 16% of people preferred the control group when they were allowed to taste both of them. And 9% couldn't tell the difference at all. I wanted to talk about this so that we can just put this out there. Isn't it great that research like this can go on? I think it's absolutely hilarious. It's absolutely hilarious. It does first of all, the control groups are real. It's a small study, like no question. Like, come on, fit 25 chickens. That's a very small control group. However, it does have results that are significant. Like it's still got significant results. It's still an indicator that more research can be done, and it gives us some insight as to how to run a larger test. But where are you going to get enough people to adjust that many chickens?
Right, and
but,
that's what the follow up and the synopsis
yeah,
says.
and they're,
like, hey,
exactly.
This is great, but how are we going to find all these animal chiropractors to adjust all this livestock?
Right, and they use a lot of keywords like, "Hey, this is really interesting." It's too small of a study to make any big predictions, but it's interesting information, and that's where most of the studies come from. It's like, well, let's try this. Well, that was dumb. Well, let's try this. That was dumb. These small group sizes, and then of course the case study. Those are nothing's as good as the double blind, or the RCT. But even being able to do this, I think is just absolutely fascinating that it could even produce a result at all. Now, where are you going to get enough chiropractors to adjust chickens at that scale? I don't know. But if you tell Tyson Chicken that you're going to have an increase in the amount of chicken weight at harvest and it's going to taste better.
And there's going to be less chicken,
less dead chickens,
which means that there's
like,
less.
Are you right?
There's
it's insane. It's insane.
And we didn't even talk about. I know we're going to harvest the chickens, but we're not even talking about the immune boost that you're getting from getting adjusted.
Oh yeah.
And if you get adjusted like that, and you're a chicken, and you don't have to take those antibiotics, Purdue's biggest thing right now is like, we don't give our chickens antibiotics.
Right.
And it's like you get in league with something like that, and now
it's nuts.
Now their weight's increased, mortality's decreased.
Yeah, I thought the whole tick series that we did was going to be one of the wildest things we've covered, but it turns out there's these chiropractors out there just going nuts. So, animal chiropractic is a thing, and it's been a thing for a very, very long time. Now, to get to be an animal chiropractor, you go to chiropractic school or you go to veterinary school, and then you have graduate work at the Chiropractic College for Animal Sciences,
Kansas, I think, is the closest one.
There's only a couple. It's a really, really rare breed that are animal chiropractors. They're a special breed of people. And animal chiropractors are either veterinarians, so doctors of veterinary medicine, or they're doctors of human chiropractic. So that's two interesting ways to get there. The one group gets there from working on humans, and then they decide to like animals. The other group likes animals and stays with animals. It's wild.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's what I have to say. I just wanted to talk about that for just a second. Listen, you want to have a knockdown, drag out, great Thanksgiving turkey. You got to get that turkey spine.
That's what I was thinking. I had a good turkey on Thursday, but imagine if that turkey had been adjusted.
Yeah, imagine if you'd have got that turkey
regularly
in like March, been checking him on the regular.
Yeah.
Bam.
Juicy.
My brother-in-law has a great big turkey over at his house. I'm going to be checking that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ted the turkey.
He'll be like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah,
just
teaching this turkey who's boss, first of all, but yeah. Because that turkey chases my wife around, left and right. Scares her to death. She won't even get out of the mule.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just thinking about that as a profession, too. I mean, if you're one of these animal chiropractors and you get signed on by Tyson, spend your whole day.
Oh, man. I didn't even think about that.
Adjusting some chickens.
Yeah, I wonder if they
turkeys,
would,
maybe.
He would have like a quota.
You have to adjust 50 chickens a day at least.
Oh, yeah.
100 maybe.
I could probably do 50 chickens.
It would have to be an assembly line, and you would have to have them marked, and then you would have to do notes.
You have to what?
Oh, soap note?
Dude, no.
Yeah.
Subjective.
Yeah.
It would be a travel card. You know what I'm saying?
It would be an objective. It wouldn't be a subjective.
No,
why am I adjusting 6 vertebrae on this chicken?
It would be objective. You would have to put them through like
Bagawk.
How do you determine what bones are out of place in a chicken?
Yeah,
I know there's tightness, swelling, all that.
Yeah, you got to palpate that chicken.
Right. So
you got to get your hands on that chicken.
So how many vertebrae are in a chicken?
I don't know.
What bones are most subluxated in a chicken?
It's got to be the occiput from all that pecking.
You would think, but I don't know.
I see one with all the peck.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Plus, they get the wrappered peck. They got to get
get
their gizzards full.
Yeah.
Chickens can fly to a certain extent, correct?
Yeah.
To a certain extent.
Yeah, so it just depends on the chicken.
If you're a chicken farmer, are you messing with the wings?
Yeah,
Will that affect their...
Are you going to want more age-out chickens?
Yeah.
I'm thinking about further testing, too. Like,
yeah.
Are the eggs different in hens that have been adjusted
Bigger eggs. Oh my gosh, that's like an offshoot. That's a spin-off, right? What are they? Isn't that what they call that?
Then we'll start looking at cows.
Oh my God.
Add them to the mix.
Cow adjusting. I can't even. I've seen it twice, and it's just like, are you kidding me? It is.
That's a whole day.
It's an unreal amount.
You wouldn't be adjusting 50 cows a day.
You couldn't. Oh my gosh, no. It's like you're hanging onto that thing. That's like the time we almost adjusted that cow we found in the woods. Remember that?
That cow was looking for it.
We could have adjusted it.
Big Jim had you just lay it on its neck. Lay on its neck. Yeah. Back it out of there. Watch out, it's going to be mad. Like, you think it's been in this tree for 3 days. Those are the days.
I took that study and I brought it out to a couple patients that were laying on the table, and I just said, hey, you guys can't go anywhere, so I'm just going to read this to you.
Oh, I know. It's the best.
And then one of the patients was like, so does that mean that you're making my meat juicier when you adjust me? And I'm like, well, in theory, yes.
Infinitely juicier.
Yeah, so immediately patients were
come
like,
in here and get your spine checked.
So I'm more juicy. Nice.
That's
real
right.
Nice.
100% juicier.
So
yeah,
nice.
Our anesthesiologist that we take care of, he thought it was the funniest thing he'd ever heard. He's like, what are you guys doing? You know? What a pleasure. Anyway, that's really it. That's what I wanted to talk about.
But yeah, and you can really correlate that to like the reason why we promote and we talk about getting adjusted at an early age. If you've never got your spine checked before, come get it checked. Like the reason why we do that is because to increase quality of life. Mm-hmm. And really, there are people that come in here that have no idea that they can survive and thrive without pain, without drugs, without people telling them not to do stuff. So chickens don't have a voice, but you do. So make sure you get your spine checked.
Nice, bro. That was a really good one.
Yeah.
We know a lot about what adjustments do, but we don't know the full extent. And there's not a lot you can take from this study other than it's pretty entertaining. And, we've got some really wild results that obviously more
and the mortality rate, I think, is one of the biggest.
It's incredible.
0
Is
from
it
the adjusting
Is it
group.
because they got touched every day? Or I don't know how long they were checking.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Paying attention,
That's the deal with newborns too. When you have someone that if you have a premature baby and you take all the safety precautions when someone's handling the baby, but having a nurse that just does that just checks on the baby, that holds the baby, that does the good touch with the baby, that increases body weight. So right there, without getting adjusted, you're already doing something well. Mm-hmm. So there's so many really cool potential studies that are out there.
It is.
And then we're in here adjusting patients. Like maybe we should do like a research wing or something.
How long does it take to get to be an animal chiropractor? Probably a while.
I forget. We had Dr. Certain on here, and he told us, but it's we have to go back and listen to the podcast.
No problem. I'm on it.
But yeah, I do think it takes over a year. Yeah,
it's got to.
I forget what he said. Certain weekends you have to spend your time there.
Oh yeah.
I know he went somewhere in Kansas.
There's not that many. Prestigious.
I'll look that up, and that's what we'll start off with our next. We'll follow up. A little follow up.
Okay.
All right. For myself, Dr. Josh, Dr. Brad.
All right.
Thanks for tuning in and listening. And if you have any questions, please email me at drmatt@mfwellness.org.
A big thank you goes to Hug Monster Sound for all the hard work they put into making us sound so great.